Okay, like I keep saying, it's never ending. They just keep doing the Michael Jordan stuff. I was gonna post this yesterday, but I forgot or I don't know. But anyway, so it says it was last updated March 27th. I think it was actually on the 26th though when I had read this article. But anyway, it says Michael Jordan trash talked extras on the set of Space Jam. So basically, you read through, even on the set of Space Jam, his airness was competitive. A children's movie couldn't even stop him from going 100%. Bugs Bunny sat this game out, blah, blah, blah. Keith Gibbs recalls Jordan being Jordan during a pickup game. And anyway, you keep reading here. I mean, it talks about Space Jam, which I've talked about. Why are they bringing up Space Jam here in March? It makes no sense. Anyway, you scroll down here and you read about these pickup games, and then it says, then the UCLA kids came in, and they had just won a national title. Ed O'Banion and those guys, just phenomenal. Best pickup games I've ever been a part of. It was unreal. So what's interesting is that I talked about UCLA a long time on Valentine's Day or whenever I made them videos, and UCLA won the national championship in 1995, and then they must have filmed Space Jam that summer or whatever, because Space Jam came out November 15th of 2016. But it's just interesting that this article comes out of nowhere, and then they talk about the UCLA kids coming in. And just wanted to point out that they won the championship here. And let's even click on them here. First off, remember, this guy won the NBA Slam Dunk Contest on Valentine's Day. And look where he went to college. And he's number 8 at the Timberwolves. He's even born in 95, so right around the time that UCLA won that, their 11th championship. Anyway, we also have another guy I've been talking about for how long now, that had all these triple doubles and whatnot. And he also played basketball at UCLA, and I talked about the Teen Wolf and how Kevin Love was a Teen Wolf, and then he's traded. Kevin Love is 0 for the Cavaliers. The Monsters are 0. Russell Westbrook is 0. They're all from UCLA. And then on Valentine's Day, even this year, Kevin Looney was the leading player of UCLA. Looney Tunes, Space Jam, Kevin Looney, and they beat Oregon. So check this out now. So it all has to do with Valentine's Day here. But anyway, the UCLA Bruins that won the year that they were talking about in that Space Jam article, their record was 32-1 and then 17-1 in the Pac-10. And if you scroll down here, you can look at the games that they played or whatever. So 1-1-1-1. Here's their only loss of the season. And look who they played. Oregon. So this year, they beat Oregon on Valentine's Day. And then literally, the whole Space Jam thing that they're talking about, their only loss was to Oregon. I mean, come on. What are the freaking odds of that? There's no way. It's so planned, it's not even funny. I mean, do they really? They almost tell you the year even. January 5th is 1-5, so 15. I mean, come on. And then it happens in 2015 that they play each other on Valentine's Day, and Kevin Looney is the best player. Give me a break. And then remember when Michael Jordan came back from retirement, the first game that he played was against the Pacers, and the Bulls lost. And then this year was the 20th anniversary of that, and the Bulls just happened to play the Pacers again. And but they won this time. So it's just the opposite. The Bulls won this time and lost the last time, and Oregon won last time, and then Oregon lost this time. And I forgot to mention this guy, Ed O'Banion, was the best player on the game, in the championship game or whatever, when UCLA won in 95. But his brother was also on the team, Charles O'Banion. But look at their numbers. 31 and 13. They had mirrored numbers. Just found that kind of weird. 31, 13. Then on Sunday, we have the 31st WrestleMania that's coming up on the 88th day of the year. So, definitely something hopefully I can check out. Just not sure if I can. But anyway, let's click on this guy. His brother. I just found it interesting. His brother was born on 2/22. And he was number 13, and then he was the 31st pick in the draft. So 13, 31 mirrors again. And then another interesting thing I just remembered, and I don't know why I never talked about it, but don't you find it kind of strange that there's all this Michael Jordan stuff going on that I've been talking about, and then Michael Jordan's coach in college, Dean Smith, died in February this year? This article is basically he's talking about how he's like his second father or whatever. But interesting. It says 31K shares. I just talked about 31. Like, why? That's the strangest thing ever. I mean, it's like I just clicked on this article, pull it up. That's what it says. I mean, it could be any other number. That's craziness. Anyway, let's check out Dean Smith. All right, and go figure. This guy, he was born in February and dies in February. So, I mean, could be 2-2, but he was born on February 28th, 228, which it breaks down to 114 plus 114, which is 44 and 44. And then and it's also the last day of Lupercalia on the Julian calendar. So it's actually the same as February 15th. Anyway, then he dies on February 7th, which is the 38th day of the year, at age 83. So 83, 38 mirrors. Also, 228, I never even thought about it until right now. You have Andrew Wiggins and Levine, both with the All-Star game. Wiggins wins the Rookie Europe game or whatever. He's number 22. Levine is number 8. They're both on the Wolves, and so it's 22 and 8, and they've done it 22 and 8 multiple times. I've seen it tons of times where they put the 22 and the 8 together. So it's literally 22 and 8. 22 times 8 is 176, and 176, I've talked about it, is 88 plus 88. And then I noticed it says, during his tenure as head coach, North Carolina won 2 national championships and appeared in 11 Final Fours. And that just, so I guess 2 and 11, 22, but 11 Final Fours reminded me of another coach of Michael Jordan's, Phil Jackson. So I thought, all right, we'll look up Phil Jackson. Because he won 11 championships, 6 with the Bulls and 5 with the Lakers. And I mean, really, Phil Jackson, born in 1945. Valentine's Day is the 45th day of the year. Come on. And Phil Jackson was in the NBA draft in 1967, and he was the 17th overall pick. NBA adds up to 17. 1967 I talked about with Bill Murray in the 22s, and I'm still not sure of the significance, but it definitely has something to do with Valentine's Day. And 45 is Valentine's Day, and then he was drafted in 67. Also, Phil Jackson is famous for running the triangle offense, right? And this isn't necessarily that significant, but I feel like I'm onto something. I'm just not piecing it together or something. But you have like the pyramid, all-seeing eye, whatever, the triangle. Yeah, Jay-Z and everybody does the Rockefeller, whatever. It's all about the pyramid, the triangle, and all triangles, the degrees has to add up to 180. Otherwise, it's not a triangle. This is a right triangle, which literally has 90 and then 45 and 45. So this is the 90-degree angle. So then it has to add up. So that is a right triangle or whatever. So, I mean, 45 times 4 is 180 degrees, and all triangles have to be 180 degrees. So, like I said, I don't really know the significance of what I'm saying, but I feel like I'm like really close to discovering something. So then I was thinking of Valentine's Day and triangle, and literally love. There's love triangles, right? I mean, it's a real thing. It's a love triangle. So you have this, and then I found this article when I was looking through here. It has Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and Phil Jackson, and it's on ESPN.com on page 2. So 2 for 1. That also adds up to 31, which is kind of weird that I was talking about 31. But I don't know, just kind of funny. We got the love triangle with these 3 people, and he's a big one. Kobe's been pretty big this year as well. They did a bunch of documentaries and stuff with him. And then Phil Jackson is completely falling apart at the Knicks. Or not necessarily falling apart, but the Knicks are terrible, just like the Lakers. But anyway, this article just talks about them giving love to each other, and it's a love triangle. But just kind of interesting that they even have this. I mean, and I'm talking about the triangle offense and then love and whatnot. So I'm going to close out of that. And then there's also a theory by Robert Sternberg. It's called the triangular theory of love. And then these are the 3 corners of the triangle, whatever. And not even going to go into detail on it. You can look it up for yourself. It's not really that special. I don't think so anyway. But you click on this guy. And of course, he was born in 1949. Talked about it forever. 49, 45. With love. And you even read way down here. And it talks about an experiment he did. Well, maybe. And so here it is. It talks about he measured theory on couples who were roughly the same age, mean of 28. So they were an average of 28, and next year will be the 28 year. And I talked about next year and why I think it's significant. So 28 is the 88, or 28 years away from 88 will be next year. Anyway, then it says whose relationship duration was roughly the same, 4 to 5 years. So 45, and then it would be next year, and then a love triangle. Also, I forgot to mention, so I just thought of on a triangle, they all have to be 180 degrees. So I thought, what is the 180th day of the year? And then if you go backwards, what would be the 180th day? Like, so whatever, January 1st to 180, and then January 1st if you go the other way to 180. Anyway, it's June 29th is the 180th day. And if June 29th on here actually adds up to 222. And then the backwards way, or the anti-date, or the mirror date of June 29th is actually the 4th of July. So, and I never knew this before until I read it right here, but it says July 4th is the point in the year when the Earth is the farthest from the sun. So on July 4th, the Earth is farthest from the sun. Just found that kind of interesting. Also, haven't done a whole lot of research into this. Just wanted to throw it in here, though. I was thinking 45 times 8, an 8, big number, whatever. 45 times 8 is actually 360, and that makes the circle and everything. It fits for the triangles and whatnot. So I remember that there was the 360-day prophetic calendar, and just a little interesting thing. I'm going to run out of time, but it goes in 40-year cycles, and if you go down here to 2016, the first day is February 14th, and then the Ides of March, and then August 12th, and then September 11th. I mean, none of these other days do that except for then. And this is the 2016 will be one of the 40-year cycles.